go.
Good morning. How is everybody this morning? Memorial Day. You know, we've got played different songs, and hey, do the best job we can, right?
Right.
So, all right. Yeah, the song that was Memories. That was Maroon 5, and of course, Doobie Brothers. Well, hey, we're the only church in the world that does that. Jesus is just all right for us. So, and hey. Richland beat Puyallup for the baseball 4A champs.
It's a great game, too.
Yeah, that's right. You were saying, 12 innings or something?
That was the game before. It was 12 innings.
Oh,
Yesterday before three.
okay. I wouldn't be able to sit
And what
that long.
sport is this? Baseball?
Baseball. You want to do this first?
Yeah, go ahead. I got the name of it. I don't know if I can pronounce it or not.
Okay. Well, we had our first ever Crystal Conference last weekend, and Mark gave this, and this is
Camera fell.
for all of us.
That is called a Eulalia calcite. It promotes peace, contentment, and clarity. We pass it around, but it's pokey. So,
And if you drop it, well, I don't know what I would
it's
have
pretty
to say.
practical. So if you'd like to look at it more, we'll leave it up on the altar up here.
So the Green Beret, I'm sure probably most of everybody in here, unless you're young, had never heard of it. So I always thought it was a cool song. What am I doing? Oh, T-shirts and sweatshirts that you may or may not want to get and or wear. So why be difficult when with just a little bit of effort you can be impossible? So, I would challenge you to a battle of wits, but I see that you are unarmed. So. The universe is comprised of protons, neutrons, electrons, and morons. And this one is two stick figures. Okay, one of the stick figures has the place that's their backbone, has it holding in their hand, says, "I've got your back." It's pretty silly. Pretty silly. What can I say? It's pretty silly. We do have a couple patron saints, though, by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon. Do that right after I do this. Okay. And John said, "You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one."
Yep.
Indeed.
Indeed.
We saw a song this morning, and there was no reason for it to, but both of us put
We're in
both
tears.
of us to a tears.
We'll have
And
to play it in
we'll
the
have to play it one day. And it's one of those ones that,
There are no words to it. It's just
none.
showed people playing instruments and then had a kind of a little video going along behind it. It was powerful. I don't know why you brought that up, but
I don't know either. So. And George, if a man smiles all the time, he's probably selling something that doesn't work. And for Memorial Day, we traditionally do our very, very best to honor the veterans. So today I would like the veterans to stand up, name, and whatever else you want to say. If you want to do just rank, and don't care about your serial number. But your branch would be good. And anything else you might want to just briefly say. You don't have to do anything more than that.
you
But
want to give him a microphone?
sure. Where's the microphone?
It's behind the crystal.
Ah. So people online can hear. Phil Lynch, Air Force. Too many years, but I got my basic electronics, and I've used my electronics my entire life from the military, which is kind of unusual. And my dad, who has passed, he was a second lieutenant, but he went in as an enlisted person. So think about that for a second.
So I'm William, and E5 Navy, and my older brother was had his fixed wing license when he went into ROTC, and so he became a helicopter pilot in Vietnam. And And that's what he did for the rest of his life, was fly helicopters.
Wow. Sweet.
Yeah.
That's my.
Two Navy guys arguing over a microphone.
Neither one of us wants it.
Well, you know what it is. You know what the difference between a fairy tale and a sea tale is?
Yeah, but we won't mention it here.
I didn't hear. What?
A fairy tale starts off once upon a time, and a sea story starts off, this ain't no bullshit.
I heard that. Roy Brennan, AQF3, U.S. Navy. Talk about Dad. My dad was actually awarded the Silver Star.
Wow.
You remember Coach in Reservoir? He actually held off 200 Chinese fights.
He was like an Audie Murphy.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
Darrell Morrison, U.S. Navy. I was stationed right here with the island when I was overseas. That's in the 18-136. And my dad was disarmed and discharged for fighting with his superiors. So,
Come by honesty, dear.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it is. John Turner, I just want to, 3 people in my family were veterans. I was just civil servant. So my dad was John Turner. World War II, fought the Japan campaign. He was navigator, keeping the squadron headed north to Tokyo. So
Yeah.
then Darlene's brother Darrell came out and left yesterday. He was Navy, ADAC, Alaska. Very cold.
Mm-hmm. Always.
And then my own brother, Navy, Midway, during Vietnam. So,
Wow.
but, and then my good friend from Arkansas, David.
Thank you.
David Jackson, Army Military Intelligence, and Northern I Corps Vietnam. Basically, just my dad was military police in Korea, Incheon up at DMZ.
Wow.
So we both had DMZ experience, just different countries.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yep.
Vlad, I served 2 years in the IDF, been security there, and Israel Defense Forces, and my grandparents and my grandmothers, it was World War II.
So?
Come on. Yeah. Come on.
It's okay.
Well, I'm not a veteran, I'm still in.
You're still in, yeah. Yeah, that's.
Army, National Guard, First Lieutenant, Transportation, Logistics Officer now. And I think I rank all the guys in here, so.
You're a veteran in training.
Keep that after you will be.
My father was in the Merchant Marines, and he joined when he was only around 16. He told everyone he was 18. And he was so sick on the ship when he first got on that he was losing his cookies over the edge when he almost fell in. If it hadn't been for one of his superiors, I don't remember, lieutenant or somebody. Anyway, caught him as he was halfway over the edge, or I would have never been here.
Wow.
Oh, that was during World War II.
Yes.
Patrick here, Army National Guard, 303rd Military Police Battalion. I want to tell everybody about the Memorial Day service they have every year about the sunset garden there. It's wonderful. And tomorrow, Scott Smiley, who lost his eyesight in Afghanistan, is going to be the speaker. And his wife, of course, is Tiffany Smiley, who's running for the U.S. Congress against Dan Newhouse. But anyway, it's always a wonderful service there, and it's very colorful, and they feed you free afterward. I'm always there.
Joe, go ahead. You were in the Peace Corps. That's service too.
That's service.
Hi, Joe Montgomery. I was in the Peace Corps in India for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And our dad was in the Navy. I don't remember his rank. You remember?
No, I don't
It
remember.
was some strange name. But it was commanded a group of enlisted men, and they were scared to death.
Rightfully so. Anybody else? I'm gonna have to look it up. I wonder what his rank was. That's interesting. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was never fortunate enough to be in the military. I wanted to, but my dad talked me out of it when I was a senior. But my dad served, he actually was a participant in D-Day during World War II. My grandfather, my great-grandfather all served in the Army. Dad was engineering corps, so he was kind of one of the first ones that had to go over the line to set up communications and make sure everything was good. And both of my brothers were coasties.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, kind of interesting how sometimes military families exist as opposed to a single person.
Exactly.
But thank you all for serving and your families and what was it?
So we watched a TV show the other day. I don't need that. I got this. We watched a movie, Atlas.
Atlas.
And it was kind of a weird thing. But anyway,
We liked it.
there was a robot and it had a phrase for the ones that had passed. And his phrase was, peace to the fallen. And Phil and I thought that was just lovely. Peace to the
Outstanding.
fallen.
Yeah, you know, I wish that would kind of catch on.
Yeah. Well, it did for us.
Yeah.
We also want to acknowledge those members of the Divine Fellowship that have passed. So this is kind of alphabetical order and so not time-wise. Andrea West, Amanda Jean Hurst Ridgely, Cassandra Lorraine, Christopher Turner, Darlene Turner, Donna Lee Wellington, Dorothy Chitwood, Ed, I can't remember Ed's last name, he always sat in the back. Do you remember Ed? Anyway. Maria Segoviano, Frank, he sat in the back as well, can't remember his last name. Gus Perez, Joanne Torrey, Kenneth LaProuse. He was moving here. He came and joined and said, I'm going to go home and get my things, and he didn't make it back because he passed. Maggie Remington, Paula Thomas, Ray Roach, Tammy Sissy McMahon, Trudy Jones, and Tracy Zupka. If I've forgotten anyone, forgive me and give me...
Gail.
Oh,
Gail.
Jeez.
What was Gail's last name?
Oh, can't remember. Good question. I'm too old, I can't remember.
How could we have forgotten Gail?
Gail.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't remember Paula's last name, and I went to bed and prayed about it, and 1 o'clock in the morning I heard Paula Thomas. So I got it, wrote it down before I forgot, you know, that's right. So Gail, it'll come to one of us, and when you do, let me know. So, peace to the fallen, whether they have fallen in battle or just... Dorothy Chitwood.
Dorothy. Thank you.
Thank you.
What about Lorraine? She sang for us at one time.
Oh,
She had an
yes.
operatic voice.
Yes.
Lorraine.
Lorraine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Can't remember her name either. Thank you all. 'cause
we've
we
never
want-
done this before.
we want
Anything
them
we've
to-
done here is all
We want them
different.
to be
so,
remembered. You know,
yeah.
what do they say? As long as you're being remembered, you're still active. Anyway.
Yeah, Gail was very influential on a lot of things that we
We-
did. We started our videos because of Gail. So,
Shannon, who is now Arcana, it broke her heart that Gail couldn't come to services because she would even come in a transport in a hospital bed and sit in the back.
Yeah.
And then she couldn't. What was
Gail
it?
Davis.
Davis. Thank you.
And then when she couldn't do that after she passed, says, "How are we going to do that?" Well, actually, before she passed. And
No,
she-
it was after she passed. Then Shannon, now Arcana, said, that's just wrong. We're going to start videoing. And so she took it on herself, and she's the one that got us started on YouTube, got us started all the videos happening.
Facebook and everything. So now we've got over 1,000 videos online.
Yeah.
It's way over
Yeah.
1,000. So amazing.
One life can make a difference.
Yep. We only confess our little faults to persuade people that we have no large ones. Never speak ill of yourself. Your friends will always say enough on that subject. And Ralph Waldo Emerson, the louder he talked on his honor, the faster we counted our spoons.
Took me a second.
Yeah, I know. Well, okay. I'm hurrying. We've been taking lots of time here.
We did.
When I was a child, I spake like a child. And yes, I know it's weird English, but that's the way the Bible is. So I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Corinthians 13:11. The most difficult thing in life is to know thyself.
True.
And he is happiest, be he king or peasant, who finds peace in his home. True. Jeopardy. This is, back then is like TV was not, it was like 3 or 4 channels, so you didn't have all this other information, so you tended to know a lot more about stuff than you do now. The think music for Jeopardy on the final round was written by the show's creator, Merv Griffin.
And you all know it, right? Na 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 na.
That was in a lot of the game shows.
Yeah. Why did the Space Restaurant close down?
You ran out of room?
Yeah, lacked atmosphere. What do you get when you cross a kangaroo with an alien? A marsupial.
Oh.
Did you hear about the astronaut who broke the law of gravity? She got a suspended sentence.
Oh no!
Why was the moon acting so loony? I was just going through a phase. I may stop right there. I think I'll stop right there.
Stop right there. Stop! In the name of love. Before you break my heart.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, I think that's enough. We have a guest speaker today.
We do.
Want to welcome back to the Divine Fellowship our beloved, wise, and funny Areta Meek. Come on up, Areta. I shall bestow the microphone upon me.
I have been a little MIA lately, but I'm gonna let that be okay, because we need that sometimes. We have to hibernate and sit with whatever we're not sitting with, right? So Janice was asking me what the title of my thing was. If you saw the board, you'd see that I'm winging it. And that's literally no different than anything I do up here ever. If you guys think that I sit down and really plan stuff out, it's not something that happens. But I think if I'm going to title this anything today, I'm going to call it Global Intentions. So, let's see. Has anybody been guilty of going, oh, I need to go to the store for like ketchup or something? I know I personally had Walmart deliver probably 9 sets of groceries before I finally ordered ketchup for my son. Anybody do that? Anybody go for one thing and they get everything, and then you get home and go, I didn't get the one thing that I actually needed. I didn't get like the entire thing that I went to the store for. In my case, I let Javier or whatever bring it to me. But I'm not being racist. This is a bunch of different names. This is whoever is shopping, but that was the one this morning. Anyways, intention is important. Also, on the same note, I don't know if you guys have ever you guys are married and have kids and stuff, so I'm sure at some point you guys have had really noble intentions to talk to your spouse or somebody, and I'm not gonna fight, I'm not gonna argue, I'm just gonna talk, and I'm gonna be calm this time. I'm not gonna do that thing I do. I'm not gonna over-explain, right? I'm just gonna listen. I'm not really gonna talk. And then 15 minutes in, and I made a Venn diagram of everything you've done wrong. And then you realize, it's not going well, right? And you're fighting. And I just think it's important to note that in life, we can have really good intentions and do our best to get the catch up or not fight with people or argue. And we want to be, I'm not going to gripe when I'm sick, right? We have these ideas of how we want to be. And then it's really easy for life to jump in the way, right? Somebody challenges your ego. Somebody challenges a belief. That's a tough one. When you have these feelings that you've held for so long, these beliefs you've held for so long, and you can have a belief that you're not good enough, and somebody can make you feel like you're not good enough, and it feels like they're trampling on a belief. I am too, even though you don't think you are. So it's important to note that we do this. And it's kind of silly because if you guys have ever gone to a gas station to get gas, you wouldn't pull up to the pump and then go inside and buy nachos and Doritos and a Snickers bar and then not pump your gas and leave. You wouldn't go to get an oil change and just walk in and pay and not get your oil changed. That would be silly. And yet, we come here to Earth to learn and be kind of what we can't get at home, right? And then we come here and we gather up all the shit that we don't need. And we bypass what we really need while we're here. When we are home, in our eternal, perfect, loving, knowing self, we know everything. We know how the pyramids were built. We know why things are the way that they are, right? And we have all the abundance and abilities. We don't come here for that. We don't come here to have a lot of money. We don't come here to be smart like this. We come here to be smart like this, right? I feel like a lot of us are wandering through this life just not grabbing the ketchup. I feel like we're not getting the oil change, right? No. I've said this, I think, before, let God change your butt. In a book I'm writing, that's a chapter called Let God Change Your Butt. And it refers to how when you're trying to change the butt of like a 1-year-old, they become like some kind of crazy acrobat with like palsy and seizures. And you're like, dude, because they're running around and playing, and then all of a sudden you're like, you're ripe and you need some things, right? We need you to have some things. And they can't feel like happy, like, yeah, sure you want to play, but does it feel good sloshing around in your own stuff? Like, you're like inevitably doing them a favor, right? But you gotta pluck them off their little playground and then tame the wild beast. Yeah, we all know, right? We have kids, grandkids. It's awful. They want to play, and they literally, do they not drag it out? They not make like literally what would be like a 40-second diaper change into like the 3 worst minutes they've ever experienced in their life? Like they have like trauma and they're creating it themselves because then it's like, oh my gosh, I have to have another diaper change now. It's going to be like it was before when I made it awful. You did this. Because just relax, right? Just let it be. We don't see that when life is trying to do that for us, do we? Oh, we become crazy acrobats too. And we're like, no, thank you. I don't want that. I'm going to actually piss and moan and stay in this crappy relationship for about 9 more years. I can't just leave. He has my CDs. My CDs are in his truck. I can't just go. Right. Like we can't. There's no way. So that's how it is. They fight the diaper change, but eventually, once it's done, they're out there and they're clean and they feel better, right? And it's a necessity because if we just let them sit in their own crap, CPS would be called and our furniture would be ruined. It wouldn't be a good thing. They wouldn't enjoy it either. We need that. We need that to be able to recognize when things are uncomfortable that we're being asked to chill the heck out. We're being asked to relax because what we've really come to do here is actually transcend fear and embrace love. And love doesn't contain fear. I know that has always been I know most of the people in this room are some variations of light workers or we wouldn't be here, right? Light workers wake up first. We wake up before other people. That's what we're doing. We're waking up. We come here asleep and we wake up to our own power. Our own power has nothing to do with money or success, a job. There are CEOs of company that make tons of money and are so powerful, and they have nothing on Joe on the corner who has no money and doesn't even have a box to live in. That just sits there calmly every day staring at the water. I don't know if you guys have ever talked to some of those people on the streets, but it's kind of a hobby of mine. I find it very interesting to sit and visit with those people that are hanging out with signs. And there's a lot of amazing stories, a lot of heartbreaking stories. But a lot of those people, I have a lady that that's one of my clients at work. I have tons of clients, but a lot of them have been in they live either in Oxford homes or with their parents, but they have roof over their head, they have food, they have everything provided for them at a very, and they can come and go as they please, and they have internet and, people that help with their kids. And I have one client in particular, and a lot of these other clients are always really struggling and kind of have bad attitudes about having to, go to meetings every week or do what's required of them to stay in our program. But this mom came in, and she has 4 kids, and she has 3 of them with her, and one of them is not with her until she gets a place. But her and her 3 kids are staying at the mission. They have no internet there. They have to be home by a certain time. She can't even take a nap. They're not able to just sleep. She has to get permission, I'm really sick, and I really need to take a nap. And again, no TV, no internet. She can only have a small little cubby of food. It's mostly top ramen. And then they eat what they have to eat. She is the happiest client that I have. Literally, she comes in every day happy to come talk to me. My week was great. The mission gave us socks. She was so excited because they gave all the kids socks and underwear. She was so excited. Man, I'm gonna be that kind of excited. She's getting it, right? She's getting it. I just feel very much like everybody's in the world right now. We all know that the world is shifting, right? The earth is shifting from 3D to 5D. We're going through that change. It's asking us very rapidly to step up our vibration. When you're feeling that anxiety, you're feeling those headaches, that tired, ringing in your ears, congestion. There's a lot of that going on right now, especially since the eclipse too. And that is our earth asking us, come, rise with us. You're fighting with your people. You're noticing that you're being triggered a lot more. I want to explain something about my wife. She drives me nuts. She knows this. I drive her nuts too. And I know that I've had a lot of relationships in the past. They've drove me nuts too. I drive me nuts in my own relationship, and then I put their face to it, right? But in the end, I didn't like being challenged. I know who I am. I know what I'm not. I don't need you being sassy with me, right? Like, and so I'd get to a point in a relationship where it's like, I have to change. I'm gonna go. So I left. I left all the time. And this one, I'm at a space where I do get challenged. It's like a constant mirror in my face of, you know, very lovingly. Sometimes, no. Sometimes it's got to be firm with me, but you know, she's the first person to tell me if I've got chin hairs that are running rampant, if I look fat in something.
Never happened.
She'd be like, "Look, what do you think about this? What else do you have?" Baby, you need a shower. But, you know, in other relationships, my last marriage, she kissed my butt all the time. And I didn't change. I didn't have to, right? It was just like, well, whatever. She's not going to put up with my crap. And that's fine. I could just mosey on about and be comfortable somewhere else. I could find somebody that wants to kiss my butt or just wants to chill. But I don't want that because she challenges me. And really, I read a quote a while back that said something, and I'll butcher this to crap, but something about your ability to grow is really dependent on how self-reflective you're able to be. When you're triggered, that's you. You're mad, that's you. You're sad, that's you. There isn't a person on this planet that's responsible for your feelings but you. That's it. If you're uncomfortable, it's time to poop or get off the pot. If you're uncomfortable, you have to face that. Because when we get back home, the money, the knowledge, the playing it safe, that man, we went to the grocery store and we did not get ketchup. We're going to go back home and go, I didn't do the one thing I was supposed to do, which is be fearless and love without fear. I don't care. Every day I am scared of losing that woman. Every day my ego is afraid in some way that I'm not going to measure up. And that's what I have to face every day. And so I battle my insecurities and I don't go anywhere. And when I realize that I'm not handling something the best, I don't shift the blame. I try to take that on myself and recognize what it is that I'm doing. And I don't shy away from loving. I just keep loving to the magnitude that I know that I'm capable of without fear, without too much fear. I guess if you can love at 51% and be afraid at 49, then you're choosing love just a little bit more than we're choosing fear. But it's about growth. It's about what we can't take with us. And what we can't take with us is that moment that we were triggered and we stopped, or we were afraid, or we felt like somebody was leaving or feeling insecure, and we put our hand on our heart and said, I love you. I'm not going anywhere. I won't leave you. Even if the rest of the world falls away, I am not gonna hate myself over this. I'm not gonna belittle myself over this. I'm not gonna scold myself. I'm not gonna demean myself and tell myself and agree with the child parts that are coming to me and saying I'm not worthy. I'm not gonna agree and say, damn right you're not. I'm gonna say, no. You're never too much and you're always enough. Because wherever you are is always perfect. Always. I will never say that enough. So when we get home, What is our intention here? What is our global intention? To love, to choose kindness, to not be afraid. Anytime you choose kindness and you choose love over fear, you're winning. Doesn't matter what you learn, how many textbooks you read, how many documentaries I watch. It doesn't matter. What matters is that moment that you face yourself, the moment that you accept that you might be part of the problem or the problem, because nothing is coming at you unless it's meant for you. You bring everything into your experience. So the things that make you anxious, the things that make you afraid, that greatest fear that you have, follow it all the way home. Find out what it is. Find out why it's there. Face it, because the universe isn't going to let us have a free pass anymore, and you can all feel that. There's no more free passes. It's time to grow. It's time to bring the world with us. And every time we choose love and we just smile and we face ourselves and our own inadequacies, and we realize that that's on us and we don't put it on anybody else, that's when we're growth. That's the stuff we take home. And it's more important to open a door for somebody and smile than it is to go home and do 15 chores. Sit and stare. Sit and stare at the water. Go to the river. Who cares about the dishes? That stuff's not going to matter when we get home. So if everybody could just think about what's coming up for them and really, really, really listen to that and really face that, there's nothing to be afraid of. This is what we came to do. We didn't come to ignore it. We didn't come to blame it on somebody else or go, I'm just going to watch TV and not feel this way, or I'm going to drink, or I'm going to do whatever numbs it. That is the opposite. Get the oil change. You'll feel better. Get the diaper change. Let God change your butt. Please. Because I am so grateful every time I face myself, every inadequacy, every fear, every worry that I face. It feels awful. It feels terrible. But a little while later, it doesn't ever hurt me anymore. I don't feel insecure anymore. Conquering that is the most amazing thing, because you get to actually be you. And then the things that are meant for you will find you. Nothing will find you when you got a hood on and are hiding from it by trying to play it safe and be somebody you're not. Be you and don't be afraid. The pain, it's going to hurt, but it's not forever. And you're shedding. It's cocooning. Let's butterfly. That's pretty much all I got today. Janice? Just gonna say, I mentioned a butterfly and you said I was winging it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did great. You were flying full. Should I do the guided meditation first?
Sure.
Okay. So, in honor of Christopher Turner, who passed some years ago, he loved dragons. So speaking of winging it, we're going to take a little dragon flight. So, fun stuff. So, whenever you're ready, you can dim the lights, Mr. Phil. All right. Excuse me. Bring your attention to your heart space. That's where it all starts, in the heart. In the heart. And from your heart space, allow yourself to reach up to the top of your head. There's an energy portal at the top of your head. Let me check this microphone 1 second. Okay, there's an energy portal at the top of your head. This energy portal is always open. You're always connected to Divine Source. By bringing our attention there, that expands and that connection can grow. Above your head, there's many portals that lead and connect into Divine Source. And you will intuitively know which portal is right for you. Maybe it's the golden portal. Maybe it's a blue portal or a green portal or a golden portal or a silver portal. Maybe it's white. Maybe it's iridescent. Whatever you're experiencing is what is right for you. And as you tap into that, this beautiful living light of love from Divine Source will flow in through that portal into the top of your head, and it will touch your mind. As it touches your mind, this living light of love dissipates any fear, dissipates any worry, any distress, is replaced by this beautiful living light of love. Allow that to feel wonderful for you. You can physically feel that bringing ease and peace into your being. Letting more and more of this living light of love touch your eyes, your third eye, which is between your eyebrows, slightly above that, the discernment centers above your eyebrows, and the occipital lobes at the back of your head. This is all that perception circuit. And by allowing Divine Source to connect with you and feed that, you'll be able to see the truth of who you are and the truth of divine love for you. Letting more and more of this living light of love flowing into your being. Let it touch your mouth, your ears, and your throat. This is your truth circuit. So you'll be able to speak your truth with grace and gentleness and kindness. You'll be able to hear someone else's truth, and even if it doesn't resonate with you, you can just allow it to be. Letting more and more of this living light of love flow into your heart space, and from your heart space up and over your shoulders, down into your arms and your hands, so that everything you choose to do is worthy work. Everything that you choose to do is a blessing and a gift. Letting more and more love and light touch the heart space, and from the heart space let it go everywhere through the rest of your body. Every organ, every system, every tissue, every fiber, every cell, even down into the cells and down into the DNA. Awakening and activating all aspects of yourself to your highest and best good. Letting more and more of this living light of love fill your being and the energy field that surrounds your body. So you are being bathed and blessed and caressed with this beautiful living light of love. And from this place, we're going to take a little adventure. Allow yourself to find your way to a mountain trail. As you're walking this mountain trail, you see up ahead is a beautiful precipice where you can stand and look out over the valley below. Allow yourself to stand there and just observe. See how beautiful that is. What does it look like beneath you? Green fields that are being prepared for the summer planting, the spring planting, or the things growing. What time of year do you perceive? Is it fall? Is it harvest time in your awareness? Whatever you're experiencing may have spiritual significance for you, so just notice. And as you're looking around, you notice a speck of something on the horizon, and it's moving towards you. And as it gets closer, you see that it is a winged being. And as it gets closer and closer, you see that it's huge. It's even bigger than an eagle. It's even bigger than an airplane. It's a magnificent dragon. And this precipice is large enough for this dragon to stand next to you. So the dragon alights, stands next to you, and acknowledges you. It sees the truth of who you are. Powerful, courageous, aware. And it invites you to ride with it or to fly with it. You can either transform into a dragon or you can jump onto the dragon's back, whichever you prefer. Do that now. Either get on the dragon's back, there's a saddle waiting for you, or transform yourself into a dragon. Whatever feels right. And as the dragon takes off, you are in flight. Whether you are with the dragon or you are flying solo here. And now allow yourself to bank to the left. Feel yourself stretching those wings, catching the thermal, and feel yourself taking that long, slow arc to the left. And now with a few wing beats, turn yourself about and take a long, slow arc to the right. And bringing yourself back in the same direction you were first going, continue to fly out over the valley. Feel yourself in this powerful position, either riding with a powerful dragon or being the powerful dragon. Feel the current of air underneath you. Feel yourself being uplifted. Feel that strength. Feel that power. Notice there is a river far below. Go down to the river. And either you, with your talons, or the dragon you're with, will reach into the river and snag something that is here for you. And you scoop it up. And you fly back to the precipice. And when you land on the precipice, either you return to being a human being or you get off your dragon's back. Either way, you take a look and see what was collected at the river. Maybe it was a fish. Maybe it was a treasure chest. Maybe it was a musical instrument. Maybe it was a sphere of light. Whatever you have scooped up is something that has spiritual significance for you. Just be aware of that, even if you may not know what it means in this moment. And you've enjoyed your flight with the dragon, and you realize you'd like to give this dragon a gift. Whether you rode on his back or you just rode with him as a companion, you want to thank this dragon for this opportunity. So you give the dragon a gift. Perhaps it's a word or a thought or a feeling. Maybe it's a hug. Maybe you give it a medallion. Maybe you give it a gold star. Whatever you do that with deep gratitude. And thank this dragon for this beautiful journey. And as the dragon departs, you take whatever gift you were offered, a gift that you snatched up, and allow yourself to find your way back to the trail, and from the trail back into this time and space, back into your body, fully aware, relaxed, refreshed, rejuvenated, exhilarated maybe even. Deep breath, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. We'll do communion, and then if you have any questions about your guided meditation, I'll be happy to answer those. So Mr. Phil, if you want to join me up front. I'm having an impossible. Here's yours.
Oh, thank you.
I was going to get mine open and start yours, but mine would be difficult.
You want to participate in the communion? There's cups in the back there. Someone
There we
would like to
go. Did you get yours?
No.
Here, one. Oh, you almost
I
got it.
Ooh,
You
I got it.
You
I got it.
Excited over
What a challenge. What a challenge.
Communion. This is our opportunity to remember Jesus. Remember. Join us in prayer. Loving Spirit of Light, thank you for the journey of life. Thank you for those that have gone before. Help us to remember who they were, and help us to remember who we are. Help us to walk in the truth of that. These things we pray in the name of Jesus, the Ascended One. Amen.
Amen.
I should have these pre-opened before. Then they would leak. Never
It
mind.
gives everybody a chance to just watch us.
Join us in prayer again, please. Loving Spirit of Light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life, all of it. And help us to drink it in with the knowing that you walk with us in all things. Thank you. In the name of Jesus, the Ascended One. Amen.
Amen.
Hey Beth, would you turn the center light on for me back there?
It's the
Thank you.
Even though it's not the first day of summer on the calendar, this is kind of the first day of summer as far as most people are concerned. Memorial Day, this is when it all starts. Although, I don't have shorts on. What is that? It's been a very, very interesting May. Thank you so much. We wouldn't be here without you. Couldn't be here without you. We do have some work being arranged for paint on the outside of the building. So we will probably try to get people to help a little bit with that. But we couldn't do it without some very generous help with all the painting. So thank you for all of that. Many blessings to you all. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, Bill. Well, that's going around. Does anyone have a question about their meditation that I could answer for you?
My dragon was gold and green.
Gold and green, okay?
And I rode on his back. He had a saddle there for me. I felt very comfortable. I felt like I had known him for a long time. What he fished out of the river for me was a crystal sphere. And when we got back to the precipice, I gave him a watermelon tourmaline crystal.
Okay, so the golden and the green. Golden is about feeling your worth, feeling your value, and the green is, that's golden, and the green is about healing. So bringing you self-confidence and healing ability as well. Healing for yourself and others. The crystal sphere, this is being able to perceive things clearly. The watermelon tourmaline, I'm not sure, I don't have my phone to look it up what it feels like to me. Tourmaline is beautiful, beautiful stone and one of my favorites. And it feels like the energy of that is again healing. So I don't know specific what it's supposed to be, but it feels like healing energy. So you're being gifted with a whole nother level of healing energy.
Nice. That's awesome.
Right next to you.
Oh, so really quick, I just want to say, for watermelon tourmaline, it represents healing and life energy.
Healing.
It says the pink tones are said to encourage self-love, empathy, and emotional healing. Its peaceful energy promotes a blissful state of being, an inner place of joy, love, compassion, and gratitude for life.
That works.
So on my journey, I had a really, really big slate gray dragon, and we went and flew over the river, and he pulled out a giant, heavy gold chain for me. And then when we got back up to like the precipice, I started speaking in a foreign language, and the dragon was crying, and I kissed it on the forehead, and I wiped away its tears.
Oh. So the gray dragon, this is a very grounding, feels like solid, strength. The chain, this is about, and it was golden, this is about linking with other people. So this is giving you the ability to link in with other people in lots of different ways. And tell me again what else?
And I started talking in a different language.
In a different
The dragon
language.
was crying, and I kissed it on the forehead, and then I wiped its tears away
Okay.
with my hands.
So the different languages, you get to do everything differently now. And it doesn't matter if anybody else understands you, Divine Source does. And the tears, this is you evoking this compassionate energy. So you're going to be able to help others find their compassion, and you're going to be able to help them move through their own sorrows.
Wow.
Yeah, powerful stuff. How did the flight feel? Did you like flying?
It was really big. That thing was like bigger than a house. So it was very stable. It's like flying a really well-built Boeing.
Love it. That's great. That's great.
Oh man, that's very good.
I
flew a purple and black dragon, and we pulled out of the river or the water driftwood with a gold ribbon around it.
Ah,
And I gave back an amber jewel.
okay. So purple and black. Purple is divine connection. Black is possibilities. So there's lots of possibilities with the divine connection that you share. And he pulled out driftwood with a gold ribbon. So driftwood is wonderful. This is, you get a heavy log and it gets waterlogged and soaked, but eventually, it'll dry, and it's driftwood is very light. So this is letting you know that the burdens have been lifted. You're lightweight now. You're free. Some of the most beautiful things in the garden can be planted around driftwood. It's just, allows you to know that you can drift without feeling afraid, that you can be carried by the currents of love and light and not be afraid. You'll be uplifted as you journey. And the gold bow is about love, is about honoring you in that journey. Did I get it all?
Amber jewel.
Oh, and the amber jewel. So amber is also comes from a tree. So that's a second connection there to the tree. So, but it's sap that has been turned to stone. So this is about taking the lifeblood of the tree, and it's now a gem. It's now a jewel. So this is all about releasing burdens being removed from you, and the things that bring you joy are going to be very valuable for yourself and others. Thanks. Anybody else? I think that.
Well, first I was, the light was really green.
Green, okay, healing.
From my heart back up and around me was green, and all through the trip was green, and even the trail was green. Everything was green, so it was green.
Wonderful.
And I, saw the ocean, or I was looking over the ocean, and this is going to sound weird. My dragon was the Puff the Magic Dragon by the sea. And I was singing that the whole time we were
Oh, that's
flying, and he went down and got this really big salmon, and then when we came back, he cooked it with his flame, and we shared the salmon. And when my gift was, I gave him a hug and kissed him and cried and thanked him for such a wonderful experience and a wonderful trip. And I've always loved that movie. So that's the
Sweet.
dragon I saw.
So this is an awakening within you, that childlike wonder, that joy of just being free and being fun. All of the green has to do with abundance and with prosperity and with healing energy. So beautiful. And the salmons represent abundance again. So whatever requirements you have in life, they are going to be blessed. They'll be brought to you. Make sense? Yes, Bobby.
I was a flying purple dragon.
Flying purple dragon. I love it.
Fly.
Did you enjoy the flight?
Very much. I
Yeah.
want to come back.
Yeah. You could probably were going to do this on your own, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I received from the water a beautiful opal crystal.
Ooh.
I was gifted a feather, but on the way back, the dragon flew into a red castle. I didn't understand, so I asked him for your help.
Okay, red castle in itself represents safety and power, and the energy red is about passion and power. So a new measure of power is coming to you, and within that is the safety of knowing that everything is going to be fine. You're strong enough. You're powerful enough. Does that make sense? And you receive this opal. Again, I don't remember what opal is supposed to be, but this is about brightness. A new brightness is awakening within you. It feels like, and you were given a feather. It feels like a flight feather. It feels like more buoyancy, more ability to be uplifted and to uplift others. When you got back, you gave him a hug. No, that was her. You were the purple dragon, right? So purple is divine. So when you step into your divine nature, you're going to fly free. And that's going to grant you that power and the strength and the safety you're looking for.
I love it. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, if you have any other questions, you can always hunt me down after services. Thanks, Beth.
Janice?
Yes.
It says opal is a stone of positive energy, joy, and hope.
Positive energy, joy, and hope. There you go. Brightness. Works. All right, so let's do an energy circuit for the folks online, and then we'll do our energy circle here. Rub your hands together really, really fast. You still have that beautiful energy pouring into your heart space, from your heart space to your left hand to right hand, and back to your heart space. This connects an energy circuit, which allows energy now to flow, and the energy is going to create a sphere between your hands. Can you feel that? It's power, energy, just for you. What am I hearing?
You're hearing yourself.
Phil.
It's echoing.
What the heck? Okay, I think it's time we're done. Let's bring that into our heart space. Have a great week. We love you. See you later. What the heck?